Well, I'm Terrence Holton, and next up we'll take you to a Dodgers watch party in downtown Los Angeles.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Tim Walz playing Madden? See how Democrats are trying to win over young male voters.
And USC Puerto Rican students share their thoughts on racist remarks made at a Donald Trump rally.
Annenberg TV News is next.
The Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees are battling it out right now as we speak in Game 3 of the World Series. Hi, I'm Jack Waterman.
And I'm Laurie Carrillo. Annenberg Media's Terrence Holton is live outside Tom's Watch Bar at LA Live. Terrence, what's the vibe? How's it going?
Well, guys, as you just mentioned, we're here at LA Live for a Dodgers watch party. And just minutes ago, Dodgers first baseman Freddie Freeman hit a 2-run home run, putting the Dodgers up 2-0. It's bottom of the first now, Yankees on deck. And the atmosphere here has been incredible. I mean, the Dodgers fans, there's been let's go Dodgers chants. There's been boos, there's been cheers. There's been just a little bit of everything. The most consistent thing about this World Series is Los Angeles fans have been showing up and showing out. LA fans have been going crazy during this World Series. The Dodgers last won in 2020 when fans weren't able to celebrate with one another. This time around, the games have been packed with LA icons such as Magic Johnson, Ice Cube, and others, all there to show that they bleed Dodger blue. Now we
to tell New York that we're the best team. So that's it. Yeah, one of the best players that we ever had, Valenzuela. So I think we need to win this for him. You know, that's how important this is for the city and for us. As Latinos, you know, that's important for us. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is very important. He was Mexican, as I do. So, yeah, we need to win this for him.
Now, guys, we're going to have to wrap it up here. It's a little hard to hear. It's incredibly loud here. It's incredibly impressive. The Dodgers are still up. They'll be going later. Kasey and Ethan will give you guys an update later in the show. Until then, however, Terrence Holton, Annenberg Media.
Karen Klein is one of 4 LA Times editorial board members to resign after the paper's decision not to endorse a presidential candidate.
The editorial board never chose to remain silent. I don't know of anyone on the editorial board who chose to remain silent. And it was the owner of the paper who was telling us that we had to remain silent. It was very obvious to me what I needed to do. There was no doubt in my mind, crystal clear, perfectly happy with the decision.
In a statement, Patrick Soon-Shiong, the owner of the LA Times, said, quote, "We should be an organization that stands up and says the facts. I think that the country needs that desperately." We spoke to a journalism professor about the Los Angeles Times' decision.
It's going to be curious to see if he will fill out the editorial board with more people who would want to serve on an editorial board knowing what has just transpired, or whether, you know, he may decide the newspaper doesn't need to have an editorial board. There's a lot of debate over whether an endorsement in a presidential race matters that much, but I think there was some expectation, certainly among the editorial board, that they would be doing so.
NPR reports that more than 200,000 readers canceled their Washington Post subscriptions after the paper announced it won't endorse a candidate. USA Today, with its 300 local affiliates, are the latest to decline to endorse.
Guest speakers at a Donald Trump rally in New York City are facing backlash after making racist comments.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made the comments yesterday at Madison Square Garden. Trump has not addressed the controversy, but a campaign spokesperson said, quote, "The joke does not reflect the views," end quote, of the candidate. We spoke to students about their reaction.
Tú puedes decir que fue un chiste, pero esto es un political rally. O sea, esto es lo que tú estás diciéndole a la gente y tanta gente, porque estaba ese público lleno. Fue una falta de respeto y fue un chiste para asegurar de que la gente de Puerto Rico sepa que esa gente, el Trump y los republicanos, nos consideran inferiores.
As somebody who's an immigrant per se, like that's just really disgusting. Like that self-hatred of voting for somebody who is against you and your people.
Vice President Kamala Harris released a video Sunday outlining her proposed policies for Puerto Rico. She vowed to create a Puerto Rico Opportunity Economy Task Force, increase access to affordable housing and clean energy, and invest in small businesses.
I'm very proud to have the support of folks like Bad Bunny and Jennifer Lopez and others who were supporting me before that nonsense last night at Madison Square Garden, and are supporting me because they understand that they want a president of the United States who's about uplifting the people and not berating, not calling America a garbage can.
Both candidates will be campaigning in swing states in the 8 days leading up to the election.
On Sunday, Governor Tim Walz joined forces with New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on her Twitch live streaming channel. The two faced off in a game of Madden in an effort to garner more support from male voters.
That guy is the greatest receiver in the league, Justin Jefferson. And I feel like I kind of been cheating here by doing that.
Oh my God. They discussed topics ranging from Project 2025 to Social Security. The Harris-Walz campaign recently focused on the young male voter population, which is the main demographic of the Twitch platform. Their stream amassed over 200,000 views and is continuing to gain traction. According to NBC News, 42% of Gen Z men support Kamala Harris, while 40% are voting for Trump. In stark contrast, 59% of Gen Z women are Harris supporters, with only 26% casting their vote for Donald Trump. Walz's Twitch stream attempted to sway those numbers in Kamala's favor. USC students weighed in on the effectiveness of this strategy.
I think as people get older, they care more about policies and more of the political side, but if like a young kid, a senior year of high school, sees them playing Madden, they might think that's pretty cool, and that might sway a few votes.
Knowing that Gen Z is very a part and I guess very involved in pop culture and the media, and seeing them using Twitch will probably help them and their votes. So I think it does help at the end of the day.
Harris is set to give a speech tomorrow from the Ellipse in Washington, D.C., the same location where former President Trump spoke on January 6, 2021. California Governor Gavin Newsom has proposed expanding the state's film and television tax credit program. The proposal increases tax breaks for production companies.
This is about jobs, this is about investment, and it's about recognizing and closing that the world we invented is now competing against us. 38 states, it's not just New York, it's not just Georgia. And there's an old saying, if you want to do well in the future, you got to invest in the future.
The proposed tax credit expansion would increase from $330 million to $750 million annually. For the first time since 2009, tax credits will be refundable and can potentially reduce project relocation to other states, according to ca.gov.
I mean, I think it's huge. I think it makes the film industry a lot more accessible. It's already a really tough business to break into, so I definitely think in the long run it would benefit me entering the film industry.
Just to bring that economy back into LA by probably investing or funneling more productions that are happening or filming in LA would possibly help the economy, generate more jobs, get more people from the local community involved in the productions, help pay for their services and all of that stuff. So I think it overall does envelope and work in our benefit.
If the proposal is approved by state lawmakers, the new tax credit would go into effect next July. This change would mean California offers more money to film productions than any other U.S. state except Georgia.
Well, tonight we've got a new segment for you called Prop It Up. We'll be talking about California propositions on the ballot. First up, Prop 32. It would raise the minimum wage from $16 to $17 for small companies and $18 for businesses with 26 or more workers. We talked to a student worker about why she supports it, but also to the leader of a small business advocacy group about why she does not.
I think with it being a student job and being set at minimum wage, I know from a lot of people that I work with, the solution to being paid at that rate has been a lot of people I know will work multiple campus jobs. Even $1 would be obviously so helpful.
There's regional minimum wages here in California as well. And one that was recently passed here was in West Hollywood, where they did a minimum wage increase for just the businesses in that jurisdiction of around $19 an hour. And you immediately, after it was passed, there was immediate outcry from the smaller employers in that region that basically said, we can't make this work.
Prop 32 is one of 10 statewide propositions on the ballot.
For more political coverage, make sure to scan the QR code on your screen and tune into America's Choice, Annenberg Media's live-streamed election special. That's next Tuesday, November 5th at 7:30 p.m. We'll be following races here in California and across the country. A new USC study found a shocking trend among young children with asthma. We'll show you where.
Going for goal? Find out how USC Women's Soccer made history.
12,000 miles? No problem. See how the marching band is dealing with Big Ten travel.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all. Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dímelo Ahora.
Radio and podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo. We have it all.
Dímelo. We have it all.
Next to my big friend, I love the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's Kiss.
Hershey's Kisses, the little kiss with the big taste. This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
A USC study shows that Southern California's Salton Sea harms the respiratory health of children living nearby, causing asthma, coughing, wheezing, and sleep disruptions. Salton Sea is located around 170 miles southeast of USC. The health complications are caused by windblown dust from the shrinking body of water. The study, published in Environmental Research, noted that 24% of children in the area have asthma, much higher than the national average.
So from what we've observed in our research so far, we know these populations can be more vulnerable to the impacts of air pollution. And so I think we're starting to see that here, and particularly seeing that some of these communities closer to the sea may be more vulnerable to the adverse effects.
According to the findings of the study, 24% of children in the area have developed asthma. In comparison, the national average is 8% for boys and 9% for girls. Asthma in the area will likely intensify as the climate continues to get warmer. As the Salton Sea continues to generate more dust, scientists will need to conduct further analyses of public health effects and environmental concerns.
Well, over the weekend, the USC Women's Soccer team defeated crosstown rival UCLA to claim the Big Ten Conference title at Dignity Health Sports Park. USC is now undefeated in Big Ten Conference play this season and clinched the #1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. On Sunday, USC will play the winner of this week's Ohio State versus Wisconsin matchup.
Honestly, for me, finding out for the first time, I think it's awesome. I think coming from a Latin American country, soccer is something big for us, and to see it being celebrated here in the U.S. is, it's fantastic, and we're winning, so fight on and all that.
Sure, I didn't know much about USC Women's Soccer last year, but this year I saw that they were really playing well, and once I went to the game, I really recognized that they're great, and they'll continue to be great.
Well, we're keeping the celebrations going here. Ethan and Kasey will have more on the USC Women's Soccer team in sports.
Since moving to the Big Ten, the USC Trojan Marching Band has traveled more than 12,000 miles. We talked to a band member about how the switch to a new sports conference is impacting them.
Going to all of these new places that the band didn't go to before, it's been a ton of fun, and it's been such an experience. It's definitely become a greater part of my life than it was already. I was already really involved in the marching band, but being put on a ton of trips has already has kind of increased the amount of stuff I'm involved with.
not every band member attends every game. Students submit trip preferences and get scheduled based on seniority and level of involvement.
I had at least a handful of students who just indicated right at the start of the year, I don't enjoy traveling by airplane. And so if I could not do that, that'd be great. And sure. And so we've been able to meet them there. But well-being and enjoyment of the activity is at the forefront of any decision I make for the organization.
The USC Trojan Marching Band is traveling to Washington this weekend for the football team's next Big Ten matchup against the Huskies.
Well, now we're taking a live look outside in the USC Village, and we're going to be marching straight into today's weather report. Lucca, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, Jack. What's up, Trojans? I'm Lucca Chrysostomou, and I'm back with this week's weather. Walking to the studio today, I noticed something different. Other than being extra stressed from cramming for midterms or super excited for Halloween, I felt really cold. And that means a cold front is moving through LA. Well, looking at our current conditions, we can see a little preview of what's to come, with it being only 64 degrees and 72% humidity right now. But as we look at our 5-day forecast, we do see that there are mostly sunny skies. But if we take a closer look at the temperatures, we're not even reaching the 70s, with it being around 65 to 68 degrees for most of the week. And whoever said that it never rains in Southern California was just flat out wrong, because this weekend we will have scattered showers throughout the day. It'll be even colder at night this week, dropping down to the 50s, so if you've made plans for Halloween, whatever you do, make sure to bring an extra layer along with your costume, because trust me, you do not want to be sick for the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, USC sports absolutely killed it these past 2 days. Off to Ethan with more.
That's right, Lucca. Multiple Trojan teams walked away with W's this weekend, including some unlikely ones. Women's soccer also had a historical weekend on multiple fronts. We've got the breakdown and highlights. And men's basketball made an early preseason statement in the desert. All that and more coming up next on ATVN Sports.
That sounded like a... Whoa! And it's getting closer!
Peekaboo!
Count Chocula! Did you hear a wolf?
It was Wolfie, howling for the 2 new marshmallows in my Count Chocula cereal. The lovely chocolatey part of this complete breakfast.
2 new marshmallows?
Yes, the new Full Moon and Chocolate Wolf marshmallows make Count Chocula a howling delight.
For a limited time, you can try the Full Moon and Chocolate Wolf marshmallows inside new shiny boxes of Count Chocula.
Wow, Millhouse, that frozen black cherries turned your tongue black. My tongue's black too.
Ooh, let me try.
Hey,
Must have black tongue.
This Halloween, the Simpsons are at Burger King. Now in every big kid's meal you can get a Simpsons spooky light up. They gleam, there is scream, and you can collect all 15 at Burger King. Where else?
This Halloween, Blockbuster Video has a special treat for your whole family. You can take home any of these great Halloween classics for just $7.99. Or rent 2 movies and get them for $3.99. Now, if that's not a reason to scream, what is? Make it a Blockbuster fright.
Happy Monday and welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Kasey Kazliner.
And I'm Ethan Galbraith. October baseball has lived up to its reputation, so let's get right into it. Game 3 of the World Series is underway. After the Dodgers defended home field with 2 wins over the weekend, the series now shifts to New York for 3 games at Yankee Stadium as the Yankees look to get their first win of the series. The Dodgers are off to a hot start as Freddie Freeman hit a home run at the top of the first inning, bringing in 1 run and tallying the score to 2-0. The game is currently in the bottom of the 2nd inning with a lot of baseball left to play.
The USC Women's Soccer team took home its first ever outright conference title after defeating UCLA in a 1-0 thriller yesterday at the home of the LA Galaxy.
USC has rewritten history. They are conference champions in the Big Ten regular season for the first time. Congratulations to the Trojans.
Miley Hayes scored the game's lone goal, her 8th of the season, and goalkeeper Laurence Gladue made 2 saves to earn a clean sheet against a Bruins squad that was unbeaten in its last 10 games. The Trojans officially finished their inaugural Big Ten regular season campaign undefeated in conference play and with only 1 total loss on the year. Number 1 seeded USC will now embark on a Big Ten tournament journey and will receive a first-round bye. The Trojans will await the winner of Ohio State-Wisconsin, two teams the Cardinal and Gold previously defeated this season. With impactful transfers and consistent resiliency, USC Women's Soccer has constructed a historic season. Now, they'll aim to shock the world as important tournament games approach.
Well, the streak is over. Trojan football got back in the win column last Friday with a 42-20 victory over Rutgers in their first meeting ever. Running back Woody Marks set the tone for the Trojans, totaling 3 touchdowns in just the first half as part of a balanced offensive attack. After the game, he spoke on just how important this win was for the Trojans season.
It's amazing. Just we got the W. We got over the hump. We're not going home with the W, not holding our heads down, which we don't want to do. It's just great that we can go in there and sing the fight song. Yeah, we really needed that bad, just to come out and play dominant all 4 quarters. Just to display that we can play all 4 quarters and make it carry on to the next week so we can go 1-0.
The Trojans will look to build on this heading up to Washington next Saturday to play the Huskies.
Now, while it is still the preseason, USC men's basketball is 2-0. Not only that, but the team took down perennial powerhouse number 6 Gonzaga in an exhibition match in Palm Desert. 5 Trojans, all newcomers, scored in double figures, leading USC to a narrow 96-93 win. Eric Musselman's team put on a 3-point show, shooting nearly 50% from distance and rising up in the second half after trailing at the break. Terrence Williams II led the team with 20 points after only posting 5 against UTSA in the last game. With a couple of consolation wins under their belt, the Trojans are set for the regular season play, which will tip off a week from today when Chattanooga comes to town.
Just having been through a lot, and experience carries a lot of weight at this level. So I think just leadership is a big thing that I can bring, and just being a coach on the floor is something that I've learned to be really good at and take pride in. So yeah, it's been a great 3 years, and I think it's all led up to this point, and I'm feeling super excited and confident.
Now it's time for our weekly segment called Nobody's Talking About It, where we each highlight stories that we believe need more coverage. Women's basketball guard Talia von Oelhoffen has been named to the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard of the Year watch list. The Oregon State transfer looks to be a key facilitator for the 3rd-ranked Trojans this upcoming season.
Well, I want to circle back to football. Makai Lemon stepped up in what was the best game of his career with 134 receiving yards and a highlight-level kick return. After battling injuries and competing with the likes of Jacoby Lane, Deuce Robinson, and others for playing time, Lemon stepped up in a big way to raise the team's spirits. Now, when life gives you lemons, you take them and run toward the end zone. Looks like Makai understood the assignment. Well, thank you for tuning in to our weekly segment, Nobody's Talking About It, where we dive in on underrated headlines. Now let's hear about what's on tap next on ATVN.
Well, just ahead, we'll talk here in the studio with a USC student who set up his own pop-up coffee shop in the village. And oh man, you gotta see how students are going to be dressed up for Halloween.
Presenting sheer madness, Circuit City's Midnight Madness Sale. Wednesday only till midnight, Circuit City will go raving mad with shocking reductions on hundreds of items. Wednesday only, this Sony 19-inch color TV with remote control, just $397. Save on this JVC compact disc player, just $198. Circuit City's Midnight Madness Sale. Get there by midnight before the curtain falls.
What? There's something under the bed. I heard something. There's nothing under the bed. I heard something. See, look. It's just Fluffy. He got scared by a dumb cat. I wasn't scared.
I told you there was nothing under the bed.
Gosh, Burger Chef, it's Wolfburger the werewolf.
Where can I get delicious burgers? Where can I get fun food? Where, oh where?
At Burger Chef.
Where?
And now at participating Burger Chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible!
Tonight we have a special guest joining us in studio. Justin Solomon is a senior and founder of Aruda Nature, an eco-friendly coffee company that is now collaborating with Rock & Riley's in the USC Village. Justin, thanks for joining us today. Just to start off, tell us more about that process of what it was like to collaborate with Rock & Riley's and setting that up.
Yeah, so for anybody who knows us from prior, we started our coffee cart last year. We set up outside the Truesdale entrance to campus, and we did really well, but we were struggling to find some place to store equipment and feasibility to operate this year. So I went to the Rock & Riley's, owners, and they came up with this pop-up collaboration idea for us to kind of operate together, bring in some customers for them, and bring in some customers for us, and it's going to be really great.
That's great. And can you talk more about that transition of what it was like to go from like that sort of contained cart operation to like a pop-up with multiple baristas?
Yeah, with the cart, it was me and my best friend were running it, and we had some troubles trying to get everything going, but now that we have the baristas and everything, it's been really cool to kind of move forward to other people making the drinks, not just me, and be able to operate as a whole team. It's tough to get a lot of employees in there, but it's been really great. We have an awesome team, and it's been really fun.
That's great. And looking forward, what are your hopes for your business? Where do you hope to go with it?
Yeah, the long-term goal, this is kind of an in-between phase for me to be able to build a reputation for myself and my company, and we're looking to open up a coffee shop out in London one day, and then hopefully another one in New York maybe.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us
today.
Thank
you so much for having me.
You guys can catch Justin Brewing at Aruda Nature's pop-up every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 4.
Hello, boys, girls, and everyone in between, and welcome to Star Quality. Halloween is right around the corner, but if you're a college student, all the spooky fun has already begun. So now let's take a look at this year's most popular Halloween costumes. Starting at number 5, we have Pomni. Then Dolores from Beetlejuice at number 4. Smiling Critters character Catnap at 3. And at number 2, we have Regan, the Australian Olympic breakdancer that broke the internet this summer. But sitting at number 1 for this year's most popular Halloween costume, we have Shrunken Head Bob from Beetlejuice. For those who already went out this Halloween weekend in LA, the top 5 most popular costumes were PLE from Fortnite, a cat, Wolverine, Taylor Swift, and a cheetah. We asked students what they were this Halloween weekend and which overrated costumes they had a bone to pick with.
I was a pirate. Men being prisoners. I'm over it.
My main costume, I think, is like a cheetah. The bunny, we always do that, and I know it's so easy, but sometimes it's just it's too much.
I dressed up as Gaga from her telephone music video. I think a lot of people will get mad at me, but I'm gonna say pirate.
Of course, you can be whatever you want this Halloween, but there is still time to pack up that bunny costume, just in case. So Laurie, Jack, what are you two going to be for this Halloween?
Thanks, Monica. Well, I'm going to have to go for Velma from Scooby-Doo. When I was a kid, I had the bob and the glasses. Have to pay homage to that. Jack, what's your lineup of costumes for this weekend?
Lineup? Wow. No, I'm sticking with one. I've got Mr. Incredible, the full muscle suit. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, you can catch me in the same costume. It's going to be great every single night.
Nice and reliable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Laurie Carrillo.
And I'm Jack Waterman. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.